Hey, now listen up. Beginning of our journey together. Right, it's the beginning of our journey together, and I can tell you, every journey is different. And everyone is unique, everyone is different. Okay, but a couple things I know about it. Number one, we have one opportunity at it. Okay, there are no do-overs. Okay, we have one opportunity. Let's make the most of it. Okay, we don't quit no matter what. It's the start of a special journey. Okay, it's the start of a special journey. Let's do it right. Starting right now. Okay, let's go.
When I die in the name of Therese, gonna go to the place that's the best. When I lay me down to die, going up to the spirit in the sky. Going up to the spirit in the sky. It's where I'm gonna go when I die. When I die in the name of Therese, I'm gonna go to the place that's the best. Prepare yourself, you know it's a must. You're gonna have a friend in Jesus. So you know that when you die, He's gonna recommend you to the spirit in the sky. Recommend you to the spirit in the sky. That's where you're gonna go when you die. When you die and you lay it to rest, you're gonna go to the place that's the best. Never been a sinner, I never sinned. I got a friend in Jesus. So you know that when I die, He's gonna set me up to set me up to
Family on 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I've been playing with these guys, most of them since 7th grade, others since freshman year, so knowing we've all been through the process together and this is our last ride together, just cherishing it.
I moved here in middle school and everyone took me in. Yeah, just all close.
It's the last time playing football with most of us that we've been playing with since Pee Wee.
Team dinners and just being with the boys is really fun, and nothing's quite like it.
I would say like the relationship with the coaches, just like knowing that this is the last year they'll be coaching us, and we've been with them, like some of them since middle school, so I think that's really special.
I think just knowing that we've all gone through the process together. I mean, it's a hard process. A lot of people have dropped out on the way. Just knowing that we've made it all through together, just enjoying it.
What makes this football year so special is when I scored a touchdown last year during JV Spartan.
I would say it's just how close we are. I feel like everybody's really close to each other, and whether it's team dinners or just joking around or playing football, it's really fun to be around with everybody.
Yeah, I'd say the bond that we have between our guys is what makes this year so special. There's always been something a little different about this class, and I think being so close is what's helped us be so great.
The fact that this is the last time that the most of us will step on a football field, and we're all so close, and we've been through the struggle together, but we've also been through the highs together and celebrated together.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it. Screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. The system broke closed, the prison's open. We ain't got nothing to lose. Everybody, we rollin'. Everybody, we rollin'. With some light-skinned girls and some Kelly Rollins. In this white man world, we the ones chosen. So good night, cool world. I see you in the morning. I see you in the morning. This is way too much. I need a moment. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking. I just count the hours. Stop tripping. I'm tripping off the power. Till then, that the world's ours.
My favorite pregame song is definitely No More Questions by Eazy-E.
And my favorite pregame song is One Take Freestyle by 1900 and Rugrat.
And my favorite song is Jazz by Lil Double O.
Probably Poker Face by Lady Gaga.
And I like to listen to classical music before games.
My favorite nickname on the team is probably Derry or K-Mac. K-Mac's a good one too.
Either Gumball for Noah Wright or Strat Mac, K-Mac, Cuz-Mac for Kyle McLaughlin.
It's DP, K-Mac, and Luke Bubble.
My favorite nickname is Strat Mac because, I'm just locking people down.
My favorite position coach memory is my freshman year when the varsity team beat Peak Central in the playoffs, and there was a huge dance circle, and Coach Brannick was getting down in it.
I think my favorite position coach memory, there were a couple practices where Tristan was having some rough practices, and Coach Page just had some really inspiring words to tell him. And at that moment, he really turned around for the better and has become a much better player. And, he was really kind, inspiring words.
My favorite story would be Coach Cass this year, a punt going right to the dome. He was down for a couple seconds, but he's good now.
I would say sophomore year, Coach Rank had a hole in his pants and kept bending over in front of all of us.
We didn't play tough mentally.
My favorite memory is probably beating Liberty this year, coming back. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Memory is beating Liberty this year.
I'm going to have to go with beating Liberty this year.
Favorite memory is probably beating Liberty this year.
Beating Liberty.
My favorite memory would probably be going to Roosters with the boys. Just an amazing location and great food.
I'd say the most prominent football memory I have is driving with my dad to Northam Park football games, and we would be listening to Know Your Enemy by Green Day, and that still is really in my mind.
My favorite song is Blue Notes by Meek Mill.
My advice for the underclassmen, if you're looking to move up the depth chart, the two easiest ways to move up the depth chart throughout the season is one, being consistent in the weight room, and two, always going in on scout team, and that's how you get noticed and that's how you get more playing time, whether it be in JV games or varsity games or on special teams even.
My advice would be make sure you're not taking anything for granted because it doesn't last forever. And as Coach Buttermore says, the days are long, the weeks are fast, and the years go by faster. So.
My biggest piece of advice would also be lifting. That's the most important thing you can do, and that's going to be something you'll hear for the next however many years you have. But it really is the great equalizer. And also just listening. I feel like when I was younger, I thought I knew everything, and I promise you don't. So just listen to what coaches say, what your teammates say. Just always be listening and observing.
My advice would have to be hit the weight room and to buy into the program.
Scout team is the best way to move up on the depth chart. You know, sophomore year, going against Colin Ansel, tackle. It's not the best of situations, but you got to do what you got to do.
I'd say just enjoy the moment. I mean, the time flies. I mean, these 4 years gone by so fast, so just enjoy in the moment.
I would have to say be available, be in the front, don't be in the back, be on scout team, do all the little things that other people won't do, because that's going to get you playing time and that's going to get you a starting position.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountain should crumble, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
I'd like to thank my parents and my whole family for just supporting me throughout my whole sports career, and of course all the coaches that helped me and supported me.
First, I want to start by thanking my parents. My dad, who was my first coach ever, and he's pretty much the reason that I play the way I play. And my mom for always being there through the ups and downs, like celebrating with me after a good game or being there for a hug if I have a bad game.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank my parents for shaping me into the person that I am today. And I'd like to thank my dad for teaching me to love the game. And then I would like to thank all the coaches and the teammates for helping me transition smoothly into the school when I moved in my sophomore year.
I'd just like to thank my parents first. I mean, they've always been super supportive of me, helping me out. And then Coach Buttermore. I mean, I think that this dude's one of the smartest coaches I've ever had, the most helpful. He cares about relationships on and off the field, so I'd just really like to thank him for all my success.
Yes, first off, I'd like to thank my parents for supporting me throughout my career, as well as Coach White. You know, he's been with me since middle school, so just being there through middle school and high school has really helped me develop as a player and person.
I'd like to thank my mom for just helping me throughout my entire football career, and then also all the coaches, specifically Coach White. He's been there since middle school, and then also Coach Brannick for the last couple of years helping me out.
Yeah, I'd also say my parents, specifically my dad. Just like after every game, we talk about the game, what happened, the goods, the bads, and then I'd also say Coach Buttermore. I just feel like he's been very consistent over these past 4 years, whether it's on the field or off the field, just always checking in.
I would like to thank both my parents just for supporting me, and then my grandpa for introducing me to football in elementary school. And I'd like to also thank Coach V just for believing in me and helping me all through the way.
I'd like to thank God, and then I'd like to thank my parents, my dad being my first coach. It was a privilege. And then my mom, always been my backbone. She's always there for me regardless of the outcome. I'd like to thank this coaching staff, my teammates, and specifically Coach White. I've had the privilege of having him as my coach for 6 years, and he's been there for me on and off the field no matter what the situation is, and he's always just helped me be the best that I can be.
Obviously, I got to start with my parents, especially my dad. He makes my mom and him come up to the games like first. They get here at like 5:15 probably, super early. I also like to thank Coach Cass for developing me my sophomore and junior year. One of the nicest dudes I've ever met.
I'm going to have to say my family, my brother and sister. They really supportive of me and always cheer me on. And then my mom and dad taking me to liftings and practices. And then Coach Brannick, he's somebody who's really supported me and kind of helped me grow as a person and a player.
I want to thank my parents, my mom, for always staying positive, no matter what the situation was. And then my dad, who's been coaching me since I was 5 years old and coaching me to this day. Just something that not a lot of people can do, and I like to cherish every moment of it. And then my grandma, she's at every game. She hates missing games, so it's pretty special to me that she likes coming to games. And my sisters, I have 2 sisters.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad, my dad especially, just for keeping me into it, keeping my love for football really strong, and Coach White for being with all of us Hastings guys for the past 6 years. Just a great coach, great guy. He makes coming to football every day really enjoyable.
Thank my parents first, just for always being so positive, showing up to all the games, even on Saturday mornings in bad weather. And also thank all the coaches, specifically Coach Cass for taking me under his wing at corner, and Coach White for the past 6 years for really caring about all the kids and being a great influence in person.
I'd like to thank my parents for always just being so supportive, and also Coach Page and Coach Formaz for being great coaches and also just helping me become a better man.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my parents for all their support, and then Coach White answering the countless questions I have, and then Coach Buttermore helping everyone, regardless if you play or not, how athletic you are or not. He really is just a great guy, great coach.
I want to first thank my parents, obviously giving me rides to everything, and especially my dad just kind of introducing football to me. And then I also want to thank my siblings for all their support, because that's been very influential for me. And then finally, I just want to thank all the coaches for making the experience so memorable.
I would also like to firstly thank my parents. My dad always making me meals after games, giving me pep talks. Everything I needed to just keep on motivating me. And then I would like to thank Coach Page for coming this year, making a difference, and really motivating me and pushing me to be who I am outside of football as well. And then obviously I would also like to thank Coach Buttermore.
I'd like to thank my parents for helping me get to practice for all those years and keeping me the love of the game strong. And I'd also like to thank all the coaches, just good guys to talk to on and off the field, always helping and just like enjoyable guys to be around.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my mom and dad. Moving ain't really that
easy to go through, so I just like to thank them for making it that much easier. And then I'd also like to thank Coach Buttermore, just making that transition even easier, and just for really connecting me with this team. I really enjoyed it.
First of all, I'd like to thank my parents, my mom for driving me to those practices at Northam, my dad for introducing me to football and coaching me all throughout Pee Wee football. I'd like to thank my teammates for being there for me. I'd like to thank my coaches, Coach Buttermore for ripping on me when it was needed, Coach Schaefer for believing in me.
I want to thank my dad for being really consistent and making me want to become bigger over the years and convincing me to play football again this year. It's really cool. And also Coach V for making the transition in a new sport very easy because he's just such a great guy.
I'd like to thank my parents, my dad. Every day he asked me how football was, and usually I say something like, oh, it was fun. But he always asks anyways. And I'd also like to thank my position coaches. I've had the unfortunate situation of having a new one every 3 years I've played each year, but I think they've all impacted me in their own ways and helped me to become the player I am today.
I'd like to thank my parents for introducing me to football and always being supportive for me. And I'd also like to thank Coach Page and Coach Formas for helping me improve as a football player in general.
I would also like to thank my parents for the opportunity to cheer me when I'm on and off the field, and my sister for everything she does for me. And I also want to thank the coaches for helping me. I want to thank Coach Buttermore, Coach Brannick, Coach Page for the opportunity to do those things for me, and that's pretty awesome. And yeah.
To start off by thanking my wonderful mom and dad, my sister, my grandparents who have came to the games along the years, my uncle, aunts, and then the coaches, of course, all of them, but specifically Coach Page, Coach Formaz, and then Vangus, even though he never let me play tight end. I guess he never saw that senior banquet video out there. I was head tapping. But
first, I would like to thank my parents, my mom and dad. And I also want to thank Coach V for every opportunity that he have given me. Thank you, Coach V, if you're seeing this.
I would have to thank both my parents, my mom and dad. My dad really pushing me to be the best player I can be on the field and definitely off the field. And my whole family in general as well. They make it out to my games all the time. And 2-3 hour drives. And then going back at 11 o'clock at night, it's not easy every Friday. So I'm definitely appreciative of that.
To start, I want to thank our Lord and Savior Jesus. Next, I want to thank Coach Basil. He's really just been a great influence on me most of the time. Then I just want to thank my parents. They've been really supportive of it, even when I've wanted to quit multiple times. They pushed me to do those morning lifts and all those hard times. I also want to thank Coach Buttermore and Coach Schaefer. They've been really great. Gave me a lot of good experiences. So
I'd like to thank my parents for driving me to and from football, especially for those morning liftings. I know that was hard for them. I also want to thank Coach V and Coach White for making football so enjoyable as it is.
I'd like to thank my parents, Coach V, and then this guy right here, Matt Singer. Sophomore year, took me under his wing, got me introduced to the program and all that.
I also want to thank my parents. Obviously, my dad introduced me to football as well, and then both my parents just cooking me food, taking me to morning lifting. Same with my brother. And then I want to thank Coach Buttermore. He would always rip on me a little bit sophomore year, and it kind of got me in line, got me in check.
Journey is different, but no journey is easy. There's always going to be hardships. There's always going to be tough things that happen. And you guys fought through a lot of stuff. You fought through a lot of things to get us a league championship. You fought through a lot of things to get us to week 13. Hey, and this close, obviously, we're moving on tonight. And as much as that still hurts, you should be proud of what you accomplished. Because you have a lot of things to add to the legacy of UA football. So every group has their chapter. Okay, your chapter is going to be another great chapter to help build the program in the direction you want it to go. So it's tough to lose, right? Tough to lose. That was one heck of a season. Okay, proud of each and every one of you. Let's do one last break. Come on, 3, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I sit alone, come get a little known, but I need more than myself this time. Step from the world to the sea, to the sky, and I do believe that we rely on. When I lay it on, come get the play it on, all my life to sacrifice. Hey, oh, listen what I say. Oh, I got your hey, oh, now listen what I say.
Are you way on top?